Hey viewers, I'll be showing you my upgraded bug out bag. I deleted my previous two videos on the subject. I felt they were too long and I was just not satisfied with them in general. And on the subject of survival, I am not a survival instructor, neither do I claim to be an expert on the subject or some other stuff like that. So if you kill yourself, listen to my advice, don't try to sue me from the afterlife or something. And my experience with survival systems comes primarily from mountaineering, backpacking, which in practice is the same thing as bugging out. You bring everything you need to survive in the out of doors with your in your pack. So let's get to my bug out bag. Starting with the pack, I didn't skimp on the quality here because your pack needs to be very comfortable and durable and be able to handle heavy loads. And this is the Arc'teryx Naus 85. It's Arc'teryx top of the line expedition pack. It has a price tag of about $700 I believe. And this pack is almost like a giant monolithic dry bag. If it weren't for that large side zipper which runs the length of the bag, similar to like a duffel bag, which is something I really like, by the way. I don't like digging for stuff in packs. And another feature is that it's very waterproof. And I have set up some items outside which mostly go in the lid, and I'll just to highlight them because they are important. And let's check them out. So don't take this video as me trying to dictate what you should be having in your bug out bag. You know, what works for me doesn't work for everybody, and I am aware of that. So starting with this fanny pack here, this is just the Mountainsmith Daylight fanny pack, which will serve as a secondary pack once I get to my destination or my base camp. I want to take the essentials with me, but I don't want to be carrying around this giant pack everywhere. So this will serve as my pack that I can go out with. And let's check out what I keep in this. This is also a survival kit in itself. Okay, let's take a quick look at what I keep in my little fanny pack, which by the way can also be carried as a little messenger bag or as a little briefcase with these handles that it has in there in case fanny packs are not your thing, which are not my thing, by the way. I don't like fanny packs. This is pretty lightweight too, weighs about 10 ounces. This thing here is my tribal organizer or documentation organizer. This is what I will need in a scenario where everything's still working, the economy is still working. It has my birth certificate, copies of my family photos in case, God forbid, they get lost during a disaster, which is possible. I can post pictures that they're missing. It also has some IDs, credit cards or banking cards or whatever you might have. And also keep spare cash and some silver coins, 4 of them, in case the economy's currency is not valuable anymore for whatever reason. A pen, a little notebook for taking notes, and that's pretty much it. I'll be adding some more things in there, personal things. This is just an Ethon emergency weather band radio, which is a must for your emergency kit or bug out bag. You need this. Might be your last line of communication between you and impending disaster, because usually there's a disaster, there might be another one coming and you don't know it because the TV is not working. This, by the way, can recharge your iPhone or your phone. It's also a flashlight. You just crank it and that's pretty much all you need. It's all aluminum housing, so this thing's not going to break on you. This is an edible wild plants guide. Earplugs in case I end up in a shelter and there's noisy people and noisy kids and the place is just going wild and I'm trying to get some sleep. I will need this to turn off the lights or turn off the noise in this case. You never know where you might end up in an emergency. Don't assume that you're just going to end up in some wilderness scenario. This here is my backup water purifier. This is a SteriPen emergency. There are UV lights, a 6-hour candle which can be used for cooking as well as a light source. Never underestimate candles. Candles can be used for all kinds of things and they don't really rely on batteries or anything that can fail except maybe the wind. And don't use candles if there's an earthquake though, because usually when there's an earthquake and the lights go out, if you use candles, there's aftershocks and it can fall down and set your house on fire. It's just a Mylar collapsible water canteen. My GPS is the Garmin Montana 600. I chose this one over the other Garmin's because this has a bigger screen and it has all the bells and whistles. Silva compass. This is a pressurized pepper spray, Spitfire. This is not your regular pepper spray. This actually contains a little pressurized canister in there that will blast out a stream of really hot pepper spray. 2 Cliff Bars, my multi-tool, and some binoculars for doing some reconnaissance, or if I need to check out something from afar, there's nothing better than binoculars. I also keep a new set of Apple earphones so I can listen to music on my iPhone. Listening to music relieves stress, which you might be stressed during a disaster. And this is just some reading material, some survival guides, which I haven't really read that much because, well, they are pretty boring. But this might make excellent reading material during a disaster to both pass time and to learn new things. So that's what I keep in there. These items here, this is just my water bottle. This is a Camelback water bottle. I like it because I can strap it here to the chest sternum of my pack, and I can just pull here and get to my water without having to reach anywhere in the pack. I also like the Camelback water bladders, but I'm not going to be carrying one in this pack because those water bladders are kind of hard to be washing, and they need to be washed properly, otherwise they will become bacterial breeding grounds, and you can actually get sick if you don't clean it properly in the long term. This is some bear pepper spray, which is perfect for dispersing crowds, or, you know, why shoot people when you can just pepper spray them if they are trying to attack you, of course. Some eye protection. These are just my Oakley sunglasses, which I bought for this pack, and some clear goggles. Now, I don't need to say it, but if your eyes get damaged, you will just become a liability and you won't be going anywhere. This is the Catadian water filter. This is the pocket bottle. It filters about 13,000 gallons of water. It's ceramic. You can just scrub it with a little sponge and it's good to go. And it's very heavy duty. It's all aluminum housing, and there's only one O-ring in this whole thing, and you also get a spare for that in this pump. It's in the pump. So very sturdy water filter. This is my Gold Zero Nomad 7 solar panel, which I'll be using to recharge my electronics. I have several electronics here that use AA batteries, mostly. And I can recharge my iPhone so I can watch SpongeBob at night, or, you know, listen to music or whatever. And if you don't carry this with you, once your disposable batteries run out, then you're pretty much screwed. You don't have any more access to your electronics. I also keep disposable batteries here. Sorry, I meant to say rechargeable batteries, not disposable batteries. And I have since replaced those ones with these other rechargeable ones called end loops, which I have found to be the best. I have added a total of 30 of them to my system because they are important. For my illumination tools, I'll be carrying this Phoenix headlamp. It's pretty bright. It's about 277 lumens of luminosity. And also I have the Phoenix LD20 in here, a flashlight that uses AA batteries as well. My knife is this Cold Steel Recon Tanto. This is an excellent knife. If you check the reviews on this, mostly everybody's raving about this knife, that, you know, mostly SWAT teams carry this knife and blah 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 blah, so whatever. This pouch here has 64 fluid ounces of water. Just 2 dry bags that you can use for storing water, for storing things obviously, or for flagging down ships, or, you know, to signal with them as flags. This little pouch here houses my little fire kit, which contains storm matches, some lighters, and one of those flint by, what is that, Ultimate Survival Technologies. There's also some mosquito repellent. Let's go in the main pack now. Starting with this dry bag here. This is my cooking equipment bag. So let's check it out. Keep in mind that this is cooking equipment for 2 people, me and my girlfriend. So it might seem a little bit overkill to most of you, but I want to be able to eat a warm meal. This is what I keep in my cooking equipment bag. There's 2 MSR titanium pots. That's the MSR Titan, and that's the MSR Titanium Soloist. When I bought this one, it came with a pot similar to this, but I took it out of there and replaced it with this one because the other one didn't have a lid. And when you're cooking outdoors, it's important to have a lid. You don't want to have bugs and dirt flying into your food. And it also makes cooking more rapid and efficient and saves you fuel. And that also applies to the mugs. You want to have lids in your mugs. So this here are 2 MSR insulated mugs. They're stainless steel, but they're pretty lightweight. There's a sponge and some dish soap, some olive oil, MSR titanium silverware, and a spork. There's the handler for that pot, and all of these items here nest inside the pot. Now my stove that I'll be using to cook my food is the MSR Whisperlight Universal. This is a stove that can burn all kinds of fuel. It can burn gasoline from your car, it can burn diesel, aviation fuel. However, you need a fuel bottle for that, and you need to prime it, which is kind of a messy process, and if you're not familiar with it, it can be dangerous. So I'm not going to be messing with that stuff in a bug out scenario. I just want to be able to cook fast, and there's that isopropane canister that I'll be using. Another thing about this stove is that it has a bigger flame spreader, so you can actually cook food in there without having to worry about hot spots. And it's also very quiet. It doesn't sound like a jet engine like those other ones, like the Primus Sound Fuel and the rest of the MSR lineup of stoves. So here I have some German rock sugar, some Tibana tea. I drink a lot of tea and I don't like that crappy instant tea. It says some table salt and some meat tenderizer. So that's what I keep in my cooking equipment bag. This little pouch here is a wilderness survival kit or module. It has signaling devices and also a backup knife, and it's a very cool little kit. I put it together myself. When I bought it, it also came as a survival kit, but I took most of the stuff that came in here because it was pretty much crap. And I have a flare gun in there and all kinds of water package. And I'll do a separate video review of this kit because I think this is a pretty cool kit. These are the clothing items in here, and I stored them in one of those Granite Gear duffel bags because I don't need to put everything in dry bags since this pack is already pretty waterproof, and this gives me easy access to my clothing, unlike the dry bags where you have to go digging through them and stuff. So let's check out what I keep in there. These are the clothing items I keep in my little seal nylon duffel bag. I know I stated in my previous videos that I was not planning to take the whole closet with me, but I have since added a couple of extra changes of clothes and an extra pair of hiking shoes. The reason I did is because I thought of the possibility that you might not be able to return back home, and whatever little clothing you took with you might be the last you will own for the foreseeable future. Stores might or might not be available for you to go and purchase new clothing and footwear items, at which point you will just have to resort to repairing the ones you took with you until they just vanish into thin air. And then you will use trash bags and leaves and other various such things as clothing. So anyhow, this is what I keep in there: some lightweight shorts, some synthetic hiking pants by the North Face, 3 shirts. 2 of them are synthetic and 1 of them is cotton, more for summer. There's some thermal pants for using them in conjunction with this in case the weather is really cold outside. 3 changes of underwear, 2 pairs of really thick wool socks, and 1 pair of small cotton socks for summer. And here is a beanie that someone gave me as a gift some time ago, and it's a lot warmer because it's made of real fur. And what is this? This is by Hugo Boss. This is a lot warmer, like I said, than those synthetic ones that I've tried before from Mountain Hardwear and stuff, so I just threw it in there. There's a dirty laundry bag. You want to have a bag in there to keep all your dirty clothes contained in your pack. You don't want to be just throwing them in there. Now here's the extra pair of hiking shoes that I'll be taking with me. Ideally I will be wearing some lightweight waterproof hiking boots if I ever need to bug out, and this will serve as my backup. I can think of many good reasons why you should add an extra pair of hiking shoes to your bug out bag. One of them will be that what if you accidentally step in a pool of water or a pool of mud, or you have to cross a river? You want to clean those shoes out and let them dry in the sun, and then switch into dry ones, and that will also prevent the other pair from getting rotten and damaged. These are in particular by Louis Vuitton. This is a pair that I'm not using anymore, and they're really sturdy. When I bought them, it said that they were for outdoor activities or hiking. They're all stitched, there's no glue in them, so they should last a long time. And I also added this nylon bag in there to keep them contained. I don't want them to get dirt inside my pack. So that's what I keep in my clothing compartment. Here's the spare shoes. This here is a tool kit. This is the hardware compartment on my bug out bag. As you can see, I have tools and gear repair items in here. The reason I included this very capable first aid kit for my gear is because in a bug out scenario you might not have access to stores that you can run to when your gear fails, which it will eventually. And I wanted to have options because I am not a duct tape everything kind of person. Here I keep some vinyl, fabric, and plastic glue, which is used to repair your shoes or any other synthetic material like Gore-Tex jackets. Some super glue. This is a very powerful epoxy. It's called JB Weld. This is used from repairing your shoes to bonding together engine blocks. It's waterproof, it's heat resistant, and it's pretty much bomb proof. Once it dries, it's like steel. A repair guide. This is the notorious duct tape. 2 buckles for my pack. If the big buckle on my hip belt breaks, my pack is pretty much going to be useless to carry a heavy load. This is just a smaller Arc'teryx one for the smaller straps. Some YKK zippers, zip ties, patches for my tent, for my sleeping pad, for my sleeping bag. High strength nylon cordage, tested to 100 pounds. Old sewing kit. I have black and white cotton and heavy duty nylon thread. And this is also part of the sewing kit. Some lithium grease and silicone grease. This one is here for my pack for the pivoting hip belt, and that's for O-rings and flashlights and other things that might need lubrication. A small razor for delicate cutting tasks, and on the tool section I keep some paracord, a small Stanley pry bar, 2 screwdrivers. They are insulated against electrical currents up to 1000 volts, and this is a Phillips and flathead, and the brand by this one is Viha. They're German made. These are the Knipex bolt cutters. These can be used to cut fences and anything you can imagine, like wiring fences and stuff, in case you need to escape Alcatraz. In combination with my multi-tool, all of these items here give me plenty of options to fix my gear. This world is built with tools, so you should have some tools in your bug out bag. This here is one of those space blankets, but this is a pretty heavy duty space blanket that you can use as a tarp for your tent, as a clean working surface, or as a shelter in itself. However, this thing smells horrible. I don't know what they used to make these things with, but it has a very strong chemical smell. It's kind of starting to smell my pack too. My hygiene kit. Let's check out what I keep in my hygiene items. These are the contents of my hygiene kit. As you can see, I also keep it in one of those sealed nylon bags by Granite Gear to save weight. I have an MSR towel, which can be used for many things aside from drying your body. A small mirror, nail clipper, some small Fiskars scissors, which can be used to cut your hair in a prolonged bug out scenario. You might want to keep your hair short, especially if you're a guy, unless you enjoy looking like some dirty version of the Beatles or something. Here's some cotton swabs for cleaning your ears. A small toothbrush, some toothpaste, some antibacterial mouth rinse, which can also help fight off oral infections. Some shaving cream, 3 disposable razor blades, and here's some very potent surgical hand soap or body soap. This is the brand right here, Sproiticin. As you can see here, it's used by surgeons before they perform surgery to completely sanitize their hands. It will kill viruses and pretty much any kind of bacteria or nasty bugs. And the reason I added that in there is because if I come in contact with biohazardous fluids or other unknown substances, I want to have a way of cleaning my hands that I will know it killed all those nasty stuff. And regular soap is not adequate for that. And speaking of regular soap, here's some Dr. Bronner's soap, which can be used for cleaning your body, your hair, washing your dishes, your clothes, and it can also be used as a toothpaste. You can brush your teeth with this. Here's some body deodorant, some baby powder, which has many uses as well, some Purell hand sanitizing wipes, some sunscreen towelettes with lotion. And here's some, what is this? This is actually lotion packages which can be used for those lonely nights, or I'm kidding. Just, in case the weather is really cold outside and you get dry skin or something. I'm not really a lotion person. I never use lotions, but, in a bug out scenario, you never know. You might need some, or come across somebody who needs some charming body restroom tissues. which can take the place of toilet tissue. This is actually toilet tissue, just regular toilet tissue, which will serve as backup. And these are some body wipes to, like I said, if you're not showering, you don't have access to showers, you can use this to clean your body with. And they also have a mild antiseptic in them to keep germs at bay. And this is something similar. This is a no rinse shampoo and a rinse body wash that you use a towel and you just rub it in your body and then you wipe it off. Pocket shower, which is pretty much a dry bag that holds 10 liters of water. You fill it up and then you hang it, and then you it has a valve that you open and close and releases the water, similar to your regular shower at home. So that's the contents of my hygiene kit. This is my food bag here. It's housed in one of those Sea to Summit webbing bags, which can also be used as a fishing net if you ever needed to. I have 10 pouches of Mountain House freeze-dried meals in there, and also some granola bars and some instant eggs that you mix with water. It has about 16 eggs, the equivalent of 16 eggs. Now for my first aid, I carry 2 first aid kits in this bag. The first one is this very comprehensive one that I put together, and another one here which houses primarily trauma items, and I keep it in this little pouch here to get to quickly. This is the field trauma kit by Adventure Medical Kits, but I took most of the stuff that came with this because it was also crappy and I added my own things. So let's check out what I keep in both of these kits and we'll come back. Okay, let's take a quick look at what I keep in my Bug Out Bag first aid kit. Now, this is a first aid kit that I put together myself. This is not store-bought. And the reason I included this first aid kit in my Bug Out Bag is because this is a very capable first aid kit, which is something I want in a bug out scenario, because I'm assuming in such scenarios there's going to be a lot of injuries, a lot of nasty things going on, and you might be injured, someone in your family might be injured, or you might come across somebody who's injured and you want to help them, because that's what good people do. I will go quickly over what I keep in here, and all of these pieces go inside the kit. I just took them out to highlight. On this section here, I keep a feet first aid kit and a dental first aid kit. Now, when you're hiking with a heavy pack, you're gonna get blisters. There's no way around it, especially if you never hiked before with heavy packs on. So you want to have a lot of moleskin to deal with impending blisters, because if you don't, a minor inconvenience when you're hiking will turn into a major inconvenience later on if you don't deal with it right away. So keep a lot of moleskin in your Bug Out Bag first aid kit. And also I have a toenail clipper in there. This dental kit here, I have some anesthetics and some other things here, some dental wax, some temporary cavity filling, cotton pellets, dental floss, toothpicks, a tea bag, and some Ambisol anesthetic, like I said. And both of these kits have been modified to be more capable. I added more things to them. In this section here, I keep my spare supply of alcohol, iodine, some eye washes, some antiseptics, some prescription ointments, lip ointments. Here's a medical pen light by Phoenix. Here's where I keep all my over-the-counter medications and prescription medications, such as antibiotics. I keep 4 different kinds of antibiotics, as well as prescription narcotic painkillers. This is the trauma section. Surgical kit that I might or might not be taking. I'm still debating it. Most of these surgical instruments are by Sklar, a German company. They're all made in Germany, and Excelta, made in Switzerland. With the exception of this is made in Pakistan. Sterile surgical gloves, which are hand specific and size specific. CPR masks, 7 sterile face masks, and magnifying glass. There's a SAM splint for immobilization in case you get an injury, which might be common when you're carrying a heavy pack. You might sprain an ankle and you won't be going anywhere. Keep something in there to immobilize injuries. There's an irrigation syringe, and this section here, which I forgot, is the general first aid, which will deal with most minor wounds and inconveniences. So that's what I keep in my first aid kit. Let's take a look at my trauma kit now. Okay, really quickly, this is what I keep in my trauma kit that rides on the exterior pocket of my pack for easy access for traumatic injuries. I have 2 stages of trauma severity. The first one is moderate trauma, which will require a way to apply pressure. This is an ace bandage here, some gloves, a surgical pad, and some hemostatic quick clot. And this is a granulated hemostatic for head injuries. Next is severe trauma. I have a Israeli bandage, some trauma scissors, and Celox gauze roll, which is a very potent hemostatic, and some surgical gloves to protect myself. And that's the pouch. Now for sheltering and sleeping, I keep a Nemo low C3 tent, which is a gigantic tent. It's pretty much like the palace of tents, and it's also pretty lightweight for the capacity. It weighs about 6 pounds. And that's also, like I said, for me and my girlfriend. If there's an earthquake and the house gets compromised, I don't want to sleep in there at night. I want to go out, like where it's clear off of structures, and set up a little camp in there and take my things with me, because usually when there's strong earthquakes, there's aftershocks that are as strong or stronger than the initial shock. So this is my sleeping system here. I'll keep a Nemo pillow, inflatable pillow. This here is a Thermalite Reactor Extreme, which will add 25 degrees of extra warmth to your sleeping bag if you needed it. And also, it keeps your sleeping bag a lot cleaner, and you don't have to be washing your sleeping bag as often. You can just wash this. And my sleeping bag is the Marmot Plasma 30. It's a pretty lightweight down sleeping bag. And this is also part of my sleeping system. This is just a Nemo Cosmo Air sleeping pad. Here, keep a Gore-Tex jacket and some hand protection. These are just some gloves here. These ones are used by rock climbers. They're pretty heavy duty, and these are just some general purpose heavy duty leather gloves as well. And these are more thin gloves for more light tasks. You gotta keep your hands protected. Now, what else am I keeping here? I think that's pretty much it. I also keep one of this. This is just a little MSR towel to wipe your face when you're hiking and stuff. You get sweaty and you want to wipe your face with. So that's pretty much all I keep in this bug bag for now. Again, I'm always, looking to what I can add or what I can change to this thing to make it a little lighter. And if you have any suggestions or comments, then let me know. Thank you.